Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to make money buying and selling land. As you know, this real estate market is exploding. Get in now while it's hot. All right, so today's episode, I'm gonna be talking about what this channel is all about. Buying and selling land, making massive profits, and I give you all the steps that I use in my business. No one else out there is talking about land and giving all this knowledge and resources that I give you. You might hear the same thing over on another video or the same thing repeated on another video. It's because the stuff works. So I'm gonna give you these 9 key steps, the exact formula to use on how to make money buying and selling land. All right, let's talk about step number 1, and that's picking your playground, picking your county. You know, I've been able to coach over 155 students now, and I'm going to tell you one of the things that I'm seeing that they are becoming very successful very fast with, like making money in land within 45 days. And that county, their playground is within about a 2-hour radius of where they currently live. There's power in familiarity. You know, here's what I mean by that. When I first started out in 2015 buying and selling that first piece of land, it was within about an hour and a half from my current home. The second one was about 45 minutes. The third one was about an hour and a half, almost an hour and 45. But there was a certain confidence that allowed me of being able to go out and meet the seller, able to go out and meet the buyer. And when I say going out and meeting the buyer, I mean like collecting like $10,000 cash. There's an amount of confidence that gives you. Or going out and putting out, you know, bandit signs to sell this land. In the beginning, I think it was my 4th parcel of land. I got a parcel of land under contract. It was 44 acres next to Schriever Air Force Base in Colorado. This land was worth about $120,000. I got it under a contract for $25,000. I went out on a Sunday because I was so scared. I got this thing under contract. I didn't have 25 grand to buy it. I was so scared that this bank was going to put me in jail if I didn't come up with that 25,000. So my plan was I was going to assign this contract. I got it under contract with the bank, and I was going to sell that contract to a buyer that had 25 grand. So what did I do? I went out and put on 33 bandit signs. These were little tiny yellow signs. And what I did was I wrote on these signs with a Sharpie. This is a king size. I prefer the Magnum, which is even bigger. I wrote on these signs with this marker saying 44 acres, must sell, 38K, my phone number. Before I got to sign number 30, I had a call. This was on a Sunday, and I had a call from a gentleman saying, we just sold our ranch in Texas. We've been driving for 2 weeks now, and we see your signs just popping up as we're driving around. Where are you at? I was like, I'm actually right down the road. He said, can you meet me on the property? So I met him on the property. We shook hands on that deal for $38,000. I had this property under contract for $25,000. I'm gonna make a quick profit of $13,000 just by getting my butt out there and putting out 30 signs on a Sunday. That was the power of doing a land deal within about a 2-hour distance of my home. But here's what's really cool. The next day, I got a higher offer. I got an even higher offer of $14,000 higher than 38K. So I called this gentleman and I shook hands with him on the side of the road. And I said, hey, what if you made $7,000 by just meeting me on the side of the road? Because I was going to split that amount with him because I wanted to make an extra 7. And I felt like we already did, like, shook on the deal. Like, he should be paid too, right? He said, no way, I want that land. So I just swallowed my pride and did the deal with him. And not really swallow my pride, but I honored that handshake. But that was the power of going out and putting those signs. And one more thing about confidence, being within about a 2-hour radius of where you currently live, picking that playground within a 2-hour radius. And that's the ability to go out and take pictures and video. And if you got a drone, you can buy a drone for $300 at Walmart. That's the power of picking a playground within a 2-hour time frame. Now I get it. You might be stationed in Korea or overseas in the military or in Alaska. Well, I recommend going somewhere you're familiar with, you know, your hometown or a place near your hometown. So there is power in familiarity. That's step 1. All right, next, you got to get a list of landowners. You want to talk to people that actually own land. And I'm going to give you the easy button. If you go below in the description, it's price.com/thelandsharks. And you got to use this link because this is a 7-day free trial and your first 400 records are free on me. These guys have developed an amazing system. These are actually 2 Air Force guys that buy land, and they created a system that allows you to pull a list of landowners. It shows you exactly what the land's worth and it shows you, it gives you the ability to do an actual Excel spreadsheet to where you can offer 10 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on the dollar, 30 cents, all the way up to 95 cents on the dollar. So it makes it really easy. You can be mailing landowners tonight. All right, step 3 is you got to send them a letter. You got to send a letter. I call it my LOL. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a link that you can download the exact LOL, the land offer letter that I use every single day. I send 500 of these a week out, and I'll give it to you for free. Free gift by watching this video today. Step 4, you're going to collect these letters. They're going to come back to you signed in your email, your fax. Well, you might not have a fax, or they're going to call you. You got to be ready for these deals to come at you at less than 50 cents on the dollar. You're getting an asset under contract at less than 50 cents on the dollar. Say, for instance, let me give you an example. The land's worth $100,000. You get someone to sign your LOL, your land offer letter, at $50,000. You have an asset that you can sell pretty quickly. Kind of like that one I just talked about, next to Schriever Air Force Base. I went out and put some signs out and sold that land and was paid within like 2 weeks of the time I got it under contract. Step 5, you've received the LOL, make the deal, call the seller, verify he's still good to sell it, get his commitment that he will sell it to you at this price on this date, exactly what he signed on your LOL. Number 6, you want to run your due diligence. You want to do your research. And I've got an amazing tool for you. And that is a link below in the descriptions. And that's called the landsharks.com/DD. This is my 14-item due diligence checklist. These are all the things my team checks before we buy any piece of land. Like, is it buildable? Are we buying a junkyard? Are there any liens or encumbrances? You want to make sure you know these things. You want to get a piece of land that's like free and clear of all these things. And if there's any of these issues, you can always work through them or get a bigger discount. So before I get to my last point, I want you to like, subscribe, and share this video, because every time you do it, you get like $100. You're going to provide so much value for others. So come on, like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, step 7, buy the land. Go to title, close on this land, and buy it. Step 8, I want you to start marketing this land. I want you to take pictures and video and advertise this thing everywhere, market it everywhere, take a down payment for this land. A down payment. I want you to try and get the dollar amount out of this land. So for instance, you've got $10,000 into this land and it's worth like $30,000. I want you to try and get a down payment for $10,000 if possible, if at all possible, to get your money back out of the deal. But if you only get $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000, that's okay. You can start getting a monthly payment and you're going to be profitable so quick on this deal. And hopefully you're going to have a monthly payment for the next 5, 10, 15, 30 years. You can be the bank on these things. And number 9, you've created a system. You figured out a way to get land at a massive discount. You sold this land for an easy down payment, an easy monthly payment. And number 9, I want you to rinse and repeat. Do this over and over and over until you have a passive income that's so big that you make life on your own terms. You've built a business that serves you and your family and eventually others. If you're interested in accelerating this process, having me hold your hand during this entire process, go to the description below to the link, thelandsharks.com. Schedule a call with me and my team. We'd love to see what your goals are, what you're looking to build. And if we're a good fit, I'd be honored to coach you.